My fiancée read a Reddit story about the one that got away and decided to call her ex 2 days before our wedding. I didn't beg. I sued her for breach of promise to recover the cost of the ring and venue. She lost the ex and her savings. I, 33 male, was supposed to get married last Saturday. Key word, supposed to. My fiancé, 30, and I had been together for 4 years, engaged for 1, wedding planned for months, venue booked, caterer paid, band hired, flowers ordered, the whole deal. $32,000 total between both of us. I covered about $20,000 of it. Thursday night, 2 days before the wedding, she's on her phone, scrolling Reddit. I'm packing for our honeymoon. She's supposedly relaxing before the big day. Then she starts crying. Not sad crying, that weird nostalgic crying, the kind that makes you nervous. You okay? Yeah, just reading this story about someone who let their soulmate go and regrets it every day. Red flag. Immediate red flag. That's sad, but we're getting married in 2 days. You're not having doubts, right? She looked at me. And I saw it. The doubt. The hesitation. No, of course not. It just made me think. About what? Nothing. Just, what if we're settling? What if there's something better out there? I put down the suitcase. Are you seriously doing this right now? 2 days before our wedding. I'm not doing anything. I need to be sure. Sure of what? We've been together 4 years. I know, but what if I never got closure with my ex? What if that's why this story hit me so hard? Her ex, the guy she dated for 2 years before me, broke up 5 years ago. She's mentioned him maybe 3 times total. You need closure. Now. Maybe. I don't know. I think I should call him. Call him. Yeah, just to talk, to make sure I'm making the right choice. I stood there, processed. You want to call your ex 2 days before marrying me to make sure you're making the right choice. When you say it like that, it sounds bad. Because it is bad. I just need to be certain. Don't you want me to be certain? I wanted you to be certain before we sent out 150 invitations. She started crying harder. You're not being supportive. This is a big decision. I read that story and I realized I never got real closure. And what if I'm making a mistake? If you think marrying me is a mistake, don't marry me. But don't call your ex 2 days before our wedding and expect me to be cool with it. I'm calling him. I need this. She grabbed her phone and went into our bedroom. Closed the door. I sat on the couch. 40 minutes later she came out. I need to postpone the wedding. Excuse me. Just postpone. Not cancel. I need time to figure things out. Figure out what? If you want to marry me or your ex. It's not like that. Then what is it like? He said he's thought about me too. That he wonders what would have happened if we'd stayed together. And now I need to know if that's real or just nostalgia. I just stared. So you're canceling our wedding to explore things with your ex? Postponing. We have 150 guests showing up Saturday. We have a non-refundable venue. We have a catering bill. We have a band. We have flowers. We have a honeymoon booked. And you want to postpone because a Reddit story made you call your ex? You're making it sound stupid. It is stupid. I can't marry you if I'm not sure. Then don't. But I'm not postponing. The wedding's either happening or it's cancelled. She looked at me like I'd slapped her. You're giving me an ultimatum. You called your ex 2 days before our wedding. Yeah, I'm giving you an ultimatum. Fine. Then I need space. I'm going to my sister's. She packed a bag. Left. I sat there until 3 a.m. trying to process. Friday morning, I started making calls. Cancelled the venue. Cancelled the caterer. Cancelled the band. Cancelled everything I could cancel. Got maybe $3,000 back in refunds total. Lost $17,000. Then I called a lawyer. Update 1. 1 week later. The fallout's been insane. After she left Thursday night, I didn't hear from her until Friday afternoon. She texted. Have you calmed down? Can we talk? I replied. About what? You canceled the wedding. I said postpone. Same thing. I've canceled everything. It's done. She called. Immediately. Screaming. You canceled. Without asking me. You postponed without asking me. I just made it official. I wanted to think about things. Great. Think about them as my ex-fiancée. You're being cruel. I was having a crisis. You were having a crisis that cost me $17,000. So yeah, I'm being cruel. I can't believe you're making this about money. You called your ex 2 days before our wedding. I'm making it about self-respect. She hung up. Her sister called an hour later. What is wrong with you? She's devastated. She canceled our wedding to chase her ex. I'm devastated too. She didn't cancel it. She needed time. Time for what? To see if her ex wants her back. To process her feelings. That Reddit story really affected her. A Reddit story convinced her to blow up our wedding. I'm supposed to be understanding about that. You're supposed to love her. Support her. I did love her. Past tense. She made her choice. She's crying constantly. She realized she made a mistake. She wants to fix things. What about her ex? Pause. What? Her ex. The one she called. The one she's processing feelings about. What happened there? I don't know. Find out. Because I'm curious if he rejected her and that's why she suddenly wants to fix things. Another pause. You're being really cold. I'm being realistic. Tell her to check her mail in a few days. Why? She'll see. I hung up. The lawyer I'd consulted specializes in family law. I asked about breach of promise suits. Most states don't allow them anymore. But mine does. It's rare but possible. Requirements. Proof of engagement. Proof of financial damages. Proof the other party broke the engagement. I had all three. We filed Monday. Sued for $17,000 in unrecoverable wedding costs plus the $8,500 engagement ring. Total $25,500. She got served Wednesday. The call came Thursday morning. Her. Hysterical. You're suing me? Yep. For what? Breach of promise. Says it right there in the paperwork. You can't do that. Already did. This is insane. Over a wedding. Over you calling your ex 2 days before said wedding and canceling everything. I wanted to postpone. And I wanted to marry someone who didn't need to call their ex to make sure they were making the right choice. We don't all get what we want. I'll fight this. You'll get nothing. Cool. See you in court. She tried calling 6 more times that day. I didn't answer. Her mother called that evening. How dare you sue my daughter? She's a wreck. She wrecked our wedding. I'm recouping costs. She had legitimate doubts. She was being honest with you. Honesty 2 days before the wedding isn't noble. It's destructive. And expensive. You're going to humiliate her in court over this. She humiliated herself calling her ex. I'm just documenting it. What about the ring? That was a gift. Conditional gift. Condition being marriage. No marriage. No ring. You're heartless. I'm practical. She made a choice. I'm making her own it. She hung up. My family's been supportive. My mom's response when I told her, good, she doesn't get to blow up your life and walk away with $25,000 worth of your money. My dad's response. Smart. Make her pay for her choices. Friends are split. Half think I'm right. Half think I'm being petty. Her friends are calling me vindictive. She was scared. Cold feet is normal. You're punishing her for being honest. Honest would have been 6 months ago. Not 2 days before. I found out from her sister, who messaged me apologizing, what happened with the ex. He told her he'd always care about her, but he's engaged to someone else. Wouldn't even meet up with her in person. Just talked on the phone for 20 minutes and basically said thanks but no thanks. So she torpedoed our wedding for a guy who rejected her within an hour. And now she wants me back. Sent me a long email Monday. 5 paragraphs about how she panicked and made a terrible mistake and still loves me and can we please try again. I replied, no. See you in court. She's claiming I'm only doing this for revenge. That I don't actually care about the money. She's half right. I do want the money back. But I also want her to face consequences for nuking a 4-year relationship over a Reddit post. Her lawyer called my lawyer yesterday. Wants to settle out of court. We'll see. Update 2. 1 month later, mediation happened last week. Required before court in my state. She showed up with her lawyer and her dad. I showed up with my lawyer and my brother. The mediator explained the process. Each side presents their case. They facilitate discussion. Hopefully reach an agreement without court. Her lawyer went first. My client deeply regrets the situation. She was experiencing pre-wedding anxiety, exacerbated by an emotional trigger. A story she read online. She recognizes she handled it poorly. However, she disputes owing any damages. The engagement ring was a gift. The wedding expenses were joint decisions. She's willing to return the ring but contests any additional financial liability. My lawyer's turn. My client incurred $17,000 in unrecoverable expenses due to the defendant's decision to cancel their wedding 2 days beforehand. The engagement ring, valued at $8,500, was a conditional gift contingent on marriage. The marriage did not occur due to the defendant's choice to pursue a relationship with her ex-boyfriend. My client is seeking full restitution. The mediator looked at my ex. Can you explain what happened? She started crying immediately. Her dad put his arm around her. I was scrolling Reddit. There was this story about someone who let their soulmate go and always regretted it. And I panicked. I thought, what if I'm making the same mistake? What if I never got real closure with my ex? So I called him. And what happened with that call? We talked for a bit. He said he thought about me too. And I needed time to process that. So you postponed the wedding? I asked for a postponement. Yes. My lawyer jumped in. For clarity, did you tell your ex you were engaged? Yes. And did he indicate interest in resuming the relationship? Pause. Not exactly. What does not exactly mean? He said he cared about me, but he's engaged to someone else. So he rejected you. That's a harsh way to put it. But accurate. She looked at her lawyer. He nodded. Yes. The mediator turned to me. And after this, did you attempt to reconcile? She did. I declined. Why? Because she canceled our wedding to chase another guy. That's not something I can overlook. My ex finally looked at me. I made a mistake. After 4 years. A mistake that cost me $17,000 and a week of embarrassment, calling 150 people to tell them the wedding was off. I was scared. So call me. Talk to me. Don't call your ex. I needed perspective. You needed attention from someone who already dumped you once. Her dad cut in. That's enough. She's admitted she was wrong. But suing her? That's vindictive. It's accountability. It's revenge. Call it what you want. I want my money back. The mediator tried redirecting. Let's discuss potential settlements. What would you accept? My lawyer. Full amount. $25,500 plus legal fees. Her lawyer. That's unreasonable. We'll offer the back. That's it. The ring is the minimum. The wedding costs are the actual damages. My client didn't personally incur all those costs. My client didn't personally cancel the wedding either. Your client did. Back and forth for an hour. Eventually, her lawyer offered $10,000 plus the ring. My lawyer looked at me. I shook my head. Not acceptable. Full amount or we go to court. Her lawyer. You realize court's expensive. Even if you win, you might spend $5,000 in legal fees. Worth it. My ex started crying harder. Why are you doing this? I said I'm sorry. Because sorry doesn't pay back $17,000. I don't have $25,000. I'll have to drain my savings. Should have thought about that before canceling the wedding. Her dad stood up. This is ridiculous. You're trying to financially ruin her over cold feet. She's trying to avoid consequences for her actions. I'm just making sure she faces them. The mediation ended without agreement. Court date set for 6 weeks out. That night, her mother called me. Directly on my cell. I have no idea how she got the number. Please drop this lawsuit. She's a mess. She can't eat, can't sleep, you're destroying her. She destroyed our relationship. I'm just seeking compensation. Is $25,000 worth ruining her life? Is calling her ex 2 days before our wedding worth ruining mine? She made a mistake. Haven't you ever made a mistake? Not one that costs someone else $17,000. She doesn't have that kind of money. She'll have to drain her entire savings. She'll have nothing. She should have considered that. I'm begging you, as a mother, please drop this. No. She started crying. What do you want? What would make you drop this? Nothing. I want my money back. That's all. She'll give you the ring. That's $18,500. Can't that be enough? No. Please. The answer is no. Tell her to show up to court. She hung up. Got a text from my ex yesterday. Long one. I know you hate me. I know I ruined everything. But please, please don't do this. I'll be broke. I won't be able to afford my apartment. I'll have to move back with my parents. You'll destroy my entire life over one bad decision. Is that really what you want? To see me suffer? I'm in therapy now. I'm working on myself. I know I was wrong. Please give me a chance to make this right without the lawsuit. I didn't respond. My brother asked if I felt guilty. If maybe I was going too far. She had 150 guests ready to watch us get married. She canceled 2 days before because a Reddit story made her emotional. She called her ex, who rejected her, then wanted me back as a backup plan. I'm not going too far. I'm going exactly far enough. Courts in 5 weeks. Her lawyer's already trying to depose witnesses. Her sister. Her friends. Anyone who can testify she was emotionally distressed and not in her right mind. My lawyer's response. Emotional just doesn't negate responsibility for your actions. Final update. 3 months later, court was last week. Took 2 days. Want to document everything while it's fresh. Day 1 started with jury selection. Civil case, 6 jurors. Her lawyer wanted a sympathetic jury. Young people, women, anyone who might relate to wedding anxiety. My lawyer wanted practical people. Older folks, business owners, anyone who'd focus on the financial damages. Ended up with 3 men, 3 women. Ages ranging from 30s to 60s. Mixed bag. Her lawyer's opening statement. This case is about a young woman who made a mistake born from fear. Wedding anxiety is real. Cold feet is common. My client made a phone call. 1 phone call and is now being punished with financial destruction. This isn't justice. This is revenge. My lawyer's opening statement. This case is about broken promises and financial responsibility. The defendant didn't just cancel a date. She canceled a wedding 2 days before it occurred. After my client had spent $17,000 on non-refundable deposits. She did this to pursue another man. When that man rejected her, she wanted to return. That's not cold feet. That's a calculated choice. And choices have consequences. First witness, me. Her lawyer tried making me look vindictive. You're asking for $25,500. That's your ex-fiancée's entire savings, correct? I don't know her savings balance. But you know this would financially devastate her. I know I'm out $17,000 because she canceled our wedding 2 days beforehand. Have you considered that she was experiencing genuine psychological distress? I've considered that she called her ex-boyfriend to see if he wanted her back. That's not what happened. That's exactly what happened. He said no. Then she wanted me back. You're speculating about her intentions. I'm reading the timeline. She calls him Thursday. He rejects her. She wants to fix things with me Friday. That's not speculation. You're angry. Clearly, isn't this lawsuit just about punishing her? It's about recouping money I lost due to her decision. $25,500 seems excessive for a broken engagement. $17,000 was the wedding costs. $8,500 was the ring. That's the actual damages. Not excessive. Accurate. Next witness. Her sister testified that my ex was beside herself with anxiety for weeks before the wedding. That the Reddit story triggered something deep. That she didn't mean to hurt anyone. Cross-examination killed that narrative. My lawyer, did your sister tell you why she called her ex specifically? She said she needed closure. 2 days before her wedding. She was scared. Scared of what? Of making the wrong choice. And she thought her ex might be the right choice. She was confused. Confused enough to cancel a wedding, but not confused enough to avoid calling another man. Her sister didn't have a good answer. Her friend testified next. Same story. My ex was struggling and needed time and didn't deserve this. My lawyer's cross. Did the defendant tell you what her ex said during their phone call? That he cared about her. And what else? That he's engaged to someone else, so he rejected her. He wasn't available. After confirming he wasn't available, did she contact the plaintiff to reconcile? Yes. Interesting timing. Day 2 was shorter. Character witnesses for both sides. My friends and family testified I'd been committed, faithful, and financially responsible. Her friends testified she was a good person who made one mistake. Then my ex took the stand. Her lawyer led her through the events. She cried through most of it. Talked about the Reddit story. The panic. The phone call. The regret. I know I handled it terribly. I know I hurt him. But I was terrified. I read that story and I thought, what if that's me in 20 years? What if I marry him and always wonder about my ex? I thought I was being smart. Avoiding a bigger mistake. I never meant to hurt anyone. My lawyer's cross was brutal. You were engaged for how long? A year. And in that year, did you ever bring up concerns about your ex? No. Did you ever suggest premarital counseling? No. Did you ever indicate to the plaintiff that you had doubts? Not directly. So the first time he learned you were unsure was 2 days before the wedding? Yes. When you called your ex, did you tell him you were engaged? Yes. What was his response? He said he was engaged too. And yet you still wanted to postpone the wedding. I needed to be sure. Sure of what? That a man who was engaged to someone else might want you instead? No. I needed to process. Process what? Whether your backup plan was available. Her lawyer objected. Judge sustained it. Let me rephrase. After your ex told you he was engaged, what did you do? I asked for time. Time to what? To think. About. She started crying. About whether I should still marry him. Him being the plaintiff. The man you'd been with for 4 years. Yes. And you needed time to decide that after confirming your ex wasn't available. It wasn't like that. Then explain it. I don't know. I panicked. The story made me panic. And I made a terrible choice. And now he's trying to take everything from me. He's trying to recover money he lost because you made that choice. I don't have $25,000. That's not his problem. She broke down completely. Judge called a recess. Closing arguments were predictable. Her lawyer painted her as a victim of anxiety. Mine painted her as someone avoiding responsibility. Jury deliberated for 3 hours. Verdict. In favor of plaintiff. They awarded me $17,000 for wedding costs. They split on the ring. Decided it was a gift and she could keep it. So I got $17,000 of the $25,500 I asked for. Not everything, but enough to cover my actual losses. Her reaction was complete breakdown. Her dad had to help her out of the courtroom. Aftermath's been quiet. She has 30 days to pay. Her lawyers already filed notice they're appealing. But my lawyer says it likely won't go anywhere. I'm not celebrating. I'm not happy. I'm just done. The money will help. $17,000 doesn't erase the embarrassment of canceling a wedding, but it covers the financial hit. Someone asked if I feel like I won. Honestly, nobody won. She lost $17,000. I lost a relationship I thought was solid, but at least I'm not out the money too. Her final text to me after the verdict. I hope you're happy. You destroyed me. I didn't respond. But I thought about it. Thought about everything. She didn't destroy me. She tried. But I didn't let her walk away clean. Maybe that makes me vindictive. Maybe it makes me practical. Probably somewhere in between. But I can live with it. She made a choice. She faces the consequences. That's how it should work. Case closed. Life moves on.